Good day to everyone. Today, we will discuss the story Cora Unashamed by Langston Hughes. Through 4 questions. Come and let us learn.
What are the conflicts in the story? These conflicts are relevant to the plot. Cora defies societal norms and expectations at a time when having a child out of wedlock was frowned on further. She disproves these notions, demonstrating that it is possible to be proud of having a baby while single and find joy in it. The story also depicts a man versus man conflict, as Cora and Mrs. Art Stuyvesant have opposing views on whether or not it is acceptable to have a child while unmarried and how they should view this event. Mrs. Art Stuyvesant believes one should be ashamed of this occurrence, while Cora thinks the opposite. The racial tensions of the time also create conflict between these two characters and define their social status. What are the following issues that are present in the story? The issues in the present story were abortions, racism, death, young love, and materialism. And my top 2 are racism and abortion. One of the issues was racism, because they treated black people as enslaved people. Not because you're white, you will treat them as you do. Black lives matter, because we're all people, and people are all the same. Abortion. Mrs. Stuyvesant decided to send Jessie to Kansas City to abort the baby. First of all, her mother doesn't want her to get pregnant because she says that Jessie is ruining their name. Not because someone is lower than your status, you will discriminate against them and give wrong actions to them. We need to be happy for someone and give them your full support. The baby has no idea what's going on. Don't blame all the fault on it. Cite your takeaways about the story.
She was what the people referred to when they wanted to be polite, as a negress, and when they wanted to be rude, as a nigger, sometimes adding the word wench for no good reason, for Cora was usually an inoffensive soul, except that she sometimes cussed.
This passage is a reference to social norms, specifically standards. When they call Cora those names, society treats her based on the color of her skin rather than her character, even though they may use different names when they want to be polite versus when they want to be rude. Either name is still demeaning and disrespectful to them. Hughes believes that African Americans call them racial slurs regardless of who they are and judge them solely based on their appearance.
In the 8th grade, she quit school and went to work with the Stuyvesants.
Cora was not fortunate enough to have a normal childhood. She has no chance to go to school and go home to have fun or relax, and she has to take care of her family from a very young age. Many women like Cora have to overgrow because they are not fortunate enough to have wealthy parents who may have a domestic helper. Girls like Cora drop out of school because school is no longer a priority as parents will need financial help. Cora may have made the decisions independently, but it is often not by sheer choice but by force.
To have a child to raise, a child the same age as her Josephine would have been, gave her a purpose in life, a warmth inside herself.
Langston Hughes depicts the love of a childless mother in a world that has little meaning for her through Cora. In this particular case, a black mother, Jessie's mother, as seen her, barely has time for her daughter and even refers to her as a stupid child. But unlike Cora, she adores Jessie, as if she were her child even though she comes from a different world. Hughes attempted to convey that a black woman who has been a mother will always have a motherly love for someone, even if they are of a different race, because they appreciate the little things since they have a slight advantage in life. What have you learned in the story? I have learned that we, as an individual, has a free will, regardless of race, status, and belief. Although you two are different races, loving someone and treating them as your own is an example of unconditional love. You grieve for what happened to other people even if you don't care about them. And if you have different states of life, whether poor or rich, we need to show other people that everyone is just equal. Sometimes, the lower classes are even more understanding than the upper classes. Whatever you believe, please stand up for it and don't let it affect what other people say. Focus on what you have and what matters. Cora is an example of a woman who has assertiveness and self-confidence despite of any difficulties in life. The care and the love and the compassion remain.